O Lord Almighty, we are in your house, Lord Almighty, the Lord of the universe. When you offer your prayers today, I know each and every one of you is in mourning. Remember Aaron Kyle McLeod. Remember Christopher Jake Stone. Remember Jared Black. Remember Christian Riley Garcia. Remember Angelique Ramirez. Remember Shana Fisher. Remember Kimberly Vaughn. And the two teachers, remember Cynthia Tisdale and Glenda Perkins. And remember our beloved daughter Sabika Sheikh. There are no words which can express the horrible loss. We only return to the Lord Almighty. He is the only one who can give patience to these kind of tragedies. And He is the only one who can save our children from future tragedies like this. We lost 10 people and there are few who are still struggling with their lives. There are 10 too many. Over 200 incidents like this happened in the United States since the year 2000. We as a society must stand up and do our part to stop these violence. In these times of the holy month of Ramadan, the Lord Almighty is even more generous in accepting your prayers. So when you pray today, pray for all these victims and their families, and pray that Lord Almighty keeps all of us and our children safe. And with that, please rise up for your Zuhr prayers, and inshallah right after that we will have the funeral prayers first.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah. Qad qamatis salah, qad qamatis salah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
So, just to let you know, while we're bringing our janazah inside, there'll be about 5 minutes. If you want to do your individual prayer, you have 5 minutes to do that. After that, we'll get ready to pray the funeral prayer, inshallah. So you have 5 minutes to do your individual prayer.
Yes, inshallah. You can bring the body inside, and we will do the funeral prayers at 2:15. In the meantime, if the brothers who need to pray sunnah prayers, please make sure you pray at a place where you're not standing in front of someone or on the way of where the body is coming from. Okay.
You're fine then.
Yes. At 2:15, I'll be explaining the process of praying the funeral prayers.
Can make it small, sir. Please go front. We don't need people. Tell them we need. It's okay, guys. Please. Guys. Listen, guys.
Brothers are requested to make some space if you can please move back so that it can be done properly.
Please, can you move back, please? The front row, move back. Move back, please. Please move back. Please move back. Everybody move from here, please. Everybody move from here, please. I don't want too many people talking. One person talking. Now we are doing sare yellow. People in the yellow, please move a little bit forward and move back. Everybody move back. Move back. Everybody move out. Everybody volunteer, please move out.
All the jackets come out, please.
Volunteers,
All the jackets come out.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If I may request everyone to please start making the rows. You can make 2 rows or double rows in 1 row. Since there is no ruku and no sujood in janazah.
in front of the body.
No, it's in front of the body. The body is here.
Okay, if everybody who's not with the media, if they could start making their stuff, please make your rows. And if we could request the media to politely figure out where they want to go to. Get closer, please. It would be nice of you guys to see. People will be friends, so you can either go there or go
So if I can request everyone to please step back and start making moves.
Straight line, please. Make the line straight.
Let's go outside.
Let them outside and then we'll make the lines.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, reporters, please again in the back. Please, thank you. Get on this side or you can walk back. Keep on moving, brother, keep on moving. Keep on moving.
Neha.
So इधर आप खड़े रहना है, I'll hold this and another भी देना. Everybody has to leave the front row. Everybody please leave the front row. Including media. Please has to be out to
The media representatives are requested to move towards the back or the side for the remaining of the funeral prayers. After the prayers, we will be given an opportunity for everyone to come and offer their respects, inshallah. Salatul Janazah consists of 4 takbirat, raising your hands up to the ears 4 times. Salatul Janazah is a funeral prayer in Islam. It is the final prayer and a dua or a supplication for the deceased. In this funeral prayer, we start by saying the first takbir, which is Allahu Akbar, raising the hand up to the ears and then leaving them open. After the first takbir, we will recite Surah Al-Fatiha or Thana, which is praising and glorifying the Almighty. After the second takbir, raising the hands up to the ears, we will send salutations to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which is dua or Durood Ibrahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. After the third takbir, we will make dua for Sadiqa Shaykh, for all of the Muslims, for her family, and for entire humanity, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower His mercy and rahmah upon us. As we are gathered here today and offering our final prayers, funeral prayers for Sadiqa Shaykh, make dua for her family, especially those in Pakistan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them patience and sabr. Make dua for everyone who is suffering here, who is going through this hardship and difficulty. This is a grieving moment, not just for the family, but for all of us, especially here in the United States and the greater Houston area. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with peace. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with celeste and harmony, inshallah. Make dua for all of the children. All of our children are going to school. And this is not the time that we get together when someone passes away. During this time we get together and we do something about it. But after the funeral prayers, what are we going to do to make sure that things do not happen again? And as we're gathered here today, keep in your prayers all of the victims, all of them, the 10 victims and their families, that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. We will start the janazah prayer.
Please get the
You cannot wait, boss. That doesn't matter. We have to go to the
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Everyone is requested to remain in their places. Everyone's requested to remain in their spots.
Come here. Come here. This one.
Come on this side. Come on this side.
This will be not connected.
Can you please request everybody to sit down? And if you can all give me little room on this row, because I have to invite some people up here. Please sit down and give a little gap for people to walk. I have to invite some people in the front. And if you all can give me some room in this front row for some of the people who just move back a little bit, please. Move back just a bit, little bit. Leave this space for me, please. Leave this whole space for me. We're gonna request some of our honored guests and elected officials to come here. I would request the host family, Mr. Jason Cogburn and Jolie Cogburn, to please come and join us in the front. May I request our Honorable Consul General of Pakistan, Ms. Aisha Faruqi, Mayor Sylvester Turner, Mayor, please come join us. And I believe please, Council Member Cisneros, please come and join us here. And Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And please, if you all can, right here. Right. And if there are any elected officials, please come and join us. We need some more space in the front. Yeah. Please just give them some room, move back a little.
Can we have some people, some of the guests on this side?
Yeah, Mayor, if you can do that. Okay, the reason is because we are kind of tight in this spot, and the speakers have to come to this podium to speak. That's why I'm requesting. Please give them a little more room. Move back a little bit to allow them.
She wants the coffee. Considering the sake of coffee should be inside.
It's already on the way, transported all the way.
Back in the chair here. Some of us can stand on both sides.
Okay. While we are waiting for Congressman Al Green, let me remind all of us again as to we are in the house of Allah, the Lord Almighty, the Lord of the universe. He alone we worship, He alone we seek refuge. We are gathered here to thank the Lord Almighty for the beautiful lives He has given, and some of those innocent lives have gone back to Lord Almighty. As Muslims, we believe that people dying in heinous criminal terrorist acts like this are all martyrs, and their place is in heaven with the Lord who loves them. Here are the names of the victims of Santa Fe High School: Aaron Kyle McLeod, Christopher Jake Stone, Jared Black, Christian Riley Garcia, Angelique Ramirez, Shana Fisher, Kimberly Vaughn, Cynthia Tisdale, Glenda Perkins, and of course, our beautiful sister, Sabika Sheikh. So, what I would request now is our Honorable Consul General of Pakistan, Ms. Aisha Faruqi. She has been instrumental in helping the family go through this tough time. She went herself to pick up the body of Sabika Sheikh. Consul General, may I request you to please come and you can invite the other speakers after you.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Thank you for all of you for being here, especially our distinguished guests, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee, Mayor of Houston, Congressman Al Green, the Mayor of Stafford, Councilwoman Cisneros, and each and every one of you. Aap sabka bahut shukriya. Thank you very much for being here. We are here today because we are united in a shared grief. We are here today in the house of God so that the message of peace and the message of compassion and the message of our shared humanity goes out from this house of God. We are here because a tragedy has united us. It has united Pakistani people, Americans, Pakistani American community, and every other community in Houston, in Texas, and throughout this country. This is a tragedy that has touched every heart, every soul throughout this land and in Pakistan. We are mourning this tragedy together. And not just for Sabika, a 17-year-old girl with a lot of dreams, I'm sure, and a lot of aspirations for doing good in the world. But it was a life that was snuffed out too soon. And not just her, but all those other children, and all those who were injured, and all those families who are grieving in different corners of this state and this country and in Pakistan. So I think the message is very clear. We need to take care of our children, whether in this country or whether in Pakistan or everywhere else in the world. These children and all children of the world are a sacred trust bestowed to us adults to take care of, to nourish, to nurture. And because we are all part of one big human family, we must work together. There is no solution but peace. And that is the message that this tragedy must give to us, and that must ring out from here, from today, from here on. Thank you so much. May I please request the Mayor of Houston, the Honorable Sylvester Turner, could you please come and share a few words? Thank you.
To the Consul General, Asha Faruqi, to the Mayor of Stafford, certainly to Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee and Congressman Al Green, to the council member who is here with us as well, Carlos Cisneros. And I certainly want to highlight to the host family of Sabika, the Cartwright family. And I believe there may be also some students and friends from Santa Fe High School. Certainly want to acknowledge them as well. Let me just say to you that this is one of those moments, as they say, that try people's souls. And the death of Sabika, along with 9 others, are impacting people, yes, truly, all over the world. 10 families now will have to deal with that tragic loss of a loved one for the rest of their lives. I certainly want to extend my prayers and condolences to the Sheikh family, to Sabika's parents, to 2 siblings who will be missing her. It is a death gone too soon. And let me just say, 17 years old, an honor student at Santa Fe, an exchange student from Pakistan. And the reality is that this area, City of Houston and the region, has one of the largest international exchange student programs in the world, with the largest percentage of those students being Muslims. They come from all over the world. She wanted to be an exchange student, a diplomat in the Foreign Office of Pakistan, Consul General. Well, let me just say to you that even through her death, she will continue to be a diplomat, because even in her death, she is pulling the relationships between Pakistan and the United States, and specifically the Houston area, even closer, and will continue to be a representative. It matters not where you come from, especially when we are talking about our children. She's the child of the Sheikh family. She's from Karachi, Pakistan. But I stopped by to tell you that she is one of our children as well, okay? She is one of our children. And these are our kids. Every last kid that lost his or her life, they are our children. The 2 teachers, we salute them and their families. We offer prayers, but the question then becomes, where do we go from here? Because there comes a point in time that when we've offered prayers, we have to stand up and we have to put those prayers to work. And we have to make changes. We have to make sure that our schools are as safe as our airports and our governmental buildings. We have to get past our fixation with guns and our obsession with guns. And we have to put in place practical and reasonable gun laws to protect our children. We are their stewards, and they're relying on us. We need not wait for the perfect answer. I don't know what the perfect solution is, but I do know if we do nothing, if we remain where we have always remained, other students will lose their lives. So let's not wait on the perfect solution. Let's take some definitive steps to make our schools as safe as our airports and as safe as our government buildings. And let's not take a whole lot of time to do that. Let's start working and doing that right now, like yesterday. That's the message for me that's coming from these 8 students and these 2 teachers. So today we mourn, and I want the Sheikh family to know our hearts go out to their family. And I want them to know we don't stand in their shoes, but Samika was our child in this city, representing international students from all over the globe. And we will always remember Samika Sheikh, this 17 years old, an exchange student who wanted to be a diplomat. And what I will say to you as the mayor of the city of Houston, she will continue to work to to enhance the relationships between Pakistan and all other countries around the world, because at the end of the day, we are all as one. Different nationalities, different faiths, but our blood runs red just the same.
May I request the Cockburn family, Jason and Jolene, to please come and say a few words. I'm not inviting people in any particular order, so please forgive me if I'm not following proper protocol, but we are in the house of God, so we are all equal in that sense. Thank you.
Well, I guess I'll start with what happened last spring. My daughter was approached by a woman at Mardi Gras, and we were over there serving, and a woman prophetically spoke to her that she was going to have a good friend coming. And so my daughter had been homeschooled her whole life up until this year, or this past school year. You know, it's just like God to show up at the last moment. And even though her and Sabika started being friends early in the school year, she was wanting to stop going to school in December. But we had an opportunity to take in Sabika at our home, and it changed around the whole story. She no longer wanted to stop going to public school because she had found her friend. Little did we know that she would come from a different culture, a different place halfway around the world. We had no idea what God was going to send us. But He sent us one of the most precious gifts that I've ever had in my life. I have 3 daughters, but it's one I speak of today because it was the one that was closest to Sabika. She is so loving, and she is so wonderful. And I never thought for a second I could have 2 of them. But I was kind of hesitant at first. It's like, man, we already got 6 kids. What am I going to do with another one? But we took her in, and they became really close. And the thing about the different cultures and where they came from, the one thing that united them and united our family with someone so far away is love. Because we loved her, and she loved us. And we did things together. She wanted to be a part of what we did, and we wanted to be a part of what she did. When we went to work, she went to work. When she started Ramadan and started fasting, my family did that with her. Because we did things together. Because really, the root of our issue is love. Because when people love each other, these kind of things don't happen. But I just wanted to say that I want to thank the AYA Yes exchange program for giving us the gift. And I want to thank Mr. Sheikh for raising such a wonderful daughter over in Pakistan. To come over here and be a part of our family for the last 6 months. It was incredible. And we loved her. We hate that this horrific thing happened. But I know this. If we really believe, like one of the ministers said earlier, God is in control of life and death. We believe that she's in a better place right now. And she's looking down on us now, smiling. And we're going to carry on, at least the Cogburn family, we're going to carry on that tradition of love that she brought from Pakistan. Because she came here to represent Pakistan. Let me tell you something. She represented them well. She will be very missed. And she will always be loved. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joanne Cogburn. I'm the host mother of Sabika. I don't know how much more I can add to what my husband already said, but I'm sure y'all seen the love that she has given us. One of the things that she said to me when she came in our home, after she decorated her room entirely in Pakistan and put her flag up, we went over to her and spent a few minutes, our first moments with her, and she said, I asked her how she got involved with wanting to become a foreign exchange student and why. And she said, because I want to learn the American culture, and I want America to learn the Pakistan culture, and I want us to come together and unite. She says, I don't know if they know us the way they should. She says, and that's what I want it to be. I want that to be known. And she said that to Jalen and I. And I don't know how much more to say for y'all to understand who she was. And we've only known her for a small time. Her family, the Sheikh family, has been the most loving, sweetest people to us. On Mother's Day, Sabika gave me this prayer shawl, and the people of Pakistan handmade it for me for Mother's Day just to show how much they love us and love our family and love America. And I just want y'all to know who she is, who her heart is, how brave she is. I always told her, Sabika, you have a warrior's heart. She wanted to be a businesswoman, and she said she wanted to impact the world. And I think she has done that. Thank you, everybody.
I request the speakers to speak close to the microphone so everybody can hear. One of the person of the Cogburn family who was closest to Sabika is their daughter Jalen. May I request her to express a few comments?
Speak a little loud and close it.
When I first started school, I didn't know anybody. I didn't previously go to Santa Fe. And it was very hard for me. And because I didn't know anyone. And I met Sabika, and she didn't know anyone either. And we both became very close. And she was the most beautiful, loving person I've ever met. The other night, we were going to our friend's house in a car, and I was thinking about how she's about to go back to Pakistan, and I was crying. And no one saw me. I was in the dark, and it was really late, and I was crying because I didn't want her to leave. And she leaned over, and she just said, I love you. and I miss you. And I said, even though we're always together, I don't know why she missed me. And just assured me how much she loved me. And she loved people. She was so loyal to her faith and her country. And she only had good things to say about everybody. And she loved her family. She couldn't wait to see them. And she loved us. And she was the most amazing person I've ever met. And I will always miss her.
Thank you. May I request our Honorable Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee to please come and express please.
Speak in the mic and speak loudly, please.
Assalamu alaikum. This is a time of beauty in the friendship between Jalen and Sabika and the Cockburn family, the love. This is a time of Ramadan, a time of sharing love, a time that those who represent you have come together, the Mayor of Stafford, the Mayor of Houston, Council Member of Houston, my colleague, Congressman Al Green, and myself, and others. We mourn, but we must honor. Mourning is to be able to say to Sabika's family that we mourn with you and our pain is deep. Is to say to our Consul General Faruqi that we mourn with the people of Pakistan. And in my official duties, I am the founder and chair of the Pakistan Caucus. I've always advocated the friendship between the United States and Pakistan, the people of Pakistan. And we work on this, and we study it, and we advocate for this unity. So today, as we have 8 dead children, including Sabika Sheikh, others injured, teachers who are dead, law enforcement officer who is healing, I must ask you, how will we honor them? What will we do? I want to join the Cockburn family in advocating for love. I want to surround Jalen with love, and the children who feel that they are in need of love, I want us as adults to do so. And I want also for the word to go out that America's values are still strong and steadfast. We are a country that embraces all. And we are grateful for the Pakistani American community that is entrenched in our society and are so much a part of helping us in Hurricane Harvey, in medicine and business and education. Our language should be turned around and everyone should be called friend. But at the same time, I would offer that there is a challenge to everyone who has been given the grace of being a public servant. And in each and every way, they must be part of an active honoring of these fallen children and other children whose names have been called in different times in different states in America. And if we act and honor them, then the people of Pakistan and this wonderful family that has lost a precious flower, a precious pearl, a precious star, will say they care. They cared about my daughter. They loved her and then they honored her. And so it is important that we find a way to teach love to our children, that when we see a t-shirt saying "Born to Kill," we find a way to find that child, and we intervene in that child's life. We find a way to protect against gun violence and guns, and we find the right kind of gun safety legislation to do the right thing. But I end by simply saying I do not ignore the embrace of this community that has always been loving. I do not ignore the extended family in Pakistan, many loving people. And what I say is, we mourn, but let us honor by action. And let us in particular, with the Cockburn family's help, other students' help, Jalen's help, find a right symbol that is significant to be able to honor Sabika Sheikh and her family right here in the United States, right here in this area, and right here in Texas. We mourn, but let us honor, and let us honor by doing something to protect our children.
We are in Stafford, Texas. May I request Mayor Leonard Scarcella to please come and give his comments.
You have heard many profound and touching messages here. I'm honored, and we in Stafford are honored that this very special event is here, and that so many have come to honor Sabika and everything that she stood for, and all of the dreams and aspirations she had. The one little point that I'd like to add, and with the family and the honored guest, the Council General, but we've heard about these type of shootings, we've heard about these tragedies all over not only this country but the world. This is the first one basically to hit home. When I was a youngster at Missouri City High School many decades ago, I played football and ran track at Santa Fe High School and still have memories of some of those events. But when it gets down to its 40 miles or less from your home and your school, and we even have a school in this mosque that some people don't recognize and don't realize, we have to do something dramatic to address and to solve this problem. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be inexpensive. It is not going to be without controversy, but it has to be done. This is senseless and unforgivable, and we cannot let it persist.
Congressman Al Green is here, and we are so honored for his presence, and I request him to please come and give his comments.
You can pin it.
Assalamu alaikum. Allahu Akbar. To all assembled, to my friends, to the mayor of the city of Houston, to my colleague, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, to my dear friend MJ Khan, to the Honorable Consul General, to the family of the deceased, I know who she was. I know who she was because she was my sister. She was my sister because I understand that there is but one God who created all of us, all of humanity, to live in harmony. She was my sister. She was a child of God. She was a child of the same God that gave us Muhammad, the same God that gave us Jesus, the same God that gave us Moses. We are all children of the same God. I know her. She was my sister. And I know that there is grief within this family and within all of us. And we have to allow that grieving process to take place. There is pain. But I also know this, that we cannot allow her life to have been in vain. I know that when we have finished our grieving, we have to take action. This is not a time for me to give a political speech, and I will not. But it is a time for me to say that we who allow these things to continue are not going to be seen as people of goodwill. It is time for all of goodwill to take a stand so that we can make a difference, and so that I will never lose another sister or another brother to such a tragedy. Allahu Akbar.
Okay, yes, we have to mourn, we have to show our condolences, but we have to speak the truth. We are in the house of Lord. The Lord Almighty requires us to speak the truth. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how much are the challenges, we must speak the truth. Just imagine if it was your daughter or your granddaughter going to school in the morning, and then 2 hours later you hear that she is no longer there. How would you feel? Every parent who has lost their loved one like this have one question on their mind. Why did that person have a gun in his hand? Every parent has one wish. I wish he did not have that gun in the classroom. It is not political. It is the truth. All of you young people sitting in the audience, don't look at Austin or Washington to solve your problems. You must solve your problems yourself. Take the lead from those students in Florida. They stood up and they said no more. We just lost 10 innocent, beautiful lives. We must also say no more. It is not the question of your right to bear arms. That's not the question. The question is, how come the gun manufacturers' lobby is getting so strong that we cannot keep our children safe in our own classrooms? And for that, you young people have to stand up. My brothers and sisters, this beautiful soul, Sabika Sheikh, she was the light of the lives of her parents. She was the role model for her siblings. She was an inspiration for the tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of children in Pakistan. She was an ambassador bringing the hearts together, bringing the bridges. You heard the Cogburn family, how loving she was. Yes, it is the Lord Almighty who can give patience to these families, who can give patience to us. But the Lord Almighty also requires us to do our part. As Islamic teaching says, that if you see something wrong, stop it with all your might. If you can, at least speak against it. And if you cannot even do that, at least feel bad in your heart that this is wrong. And that's the lowest level of faith. Brothers and sisters, we have to show our level of faith by standing up to these crimes which are happening every day in our society. And we pray to Lord Almighty that yes, we want to do our part. May Lord keep all these children who lost their lives in His protection in heaven. May Lord keep Sabika Sheikh in the highest, give her the highest place in heaven. May Lord keep all our children safe from these heinous acts and terrorist acts. When they go to school, we pray that they come safe back every day. We pray to Lord Almighty that He brings all of us together in loving each other, in caring for each other, and making this world a more peaceful and more loving place for all of us. We only rely on Lord Almighty to bring peace and tranquility in our lives and the life of everyone. And if you are a Muslim, it is incumbent upon you to make sure that your neighbor is safe, make sure your neighborhood is safe, and make sure that everybody who knows you as the most loving person, like Sabika Sheikh was known to her family, her friends, and her host family here. That is incumbent upon us. Brothers and sisters, we can do our part. We can make this world safer. I want to thank all of you who came and joined in this celebration of life of Sabika Sheikh. I want to thank our elected officials. I want to thank the board members of Islamic Society of Greater Houston. I want to thank the leadership of the Pakistani community, the Pakistan Association of Greater Houston, the leadership of this mosque, the media, our law enforcement officers, all of you, we, from the bottom of our heart, thank you very, very much for sharing these sentiments of love and care for the rest of the world. May Lord bless you all. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Once again, Congressman Al Green has a presentation to make to the council.
Just good. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll ask Congresswoman Jackson Lee and the mayor if you'll come over as well. At this time, because she was such an integrated part of our community, she was as much
क्या टाउन स्क्वायर मुझे एक और अनाउंसमेंट करना
we would like to present a flag to a family that was born over the capital of the United States of America. And I will present it to the Consul General, who will, of course, present it to the family.
I just want to thank you very much for the honor that you have bestowed on Sabika. And I will make sure that this features her family as a memento of all the love, respect, support that has come to her today from all her American friends and her Pakistani friends, and that will always be remembered. Sabika has casket has been covered with the Pakistan flag. That is an honor that has been bestowed on her by the Pakistani American community of Houston. Thank you all for
Everybody that's double parked, please go up. Make sure that you help us elevate the traffic and everything. Once again, thank you very much. And Sam J. Khan is one last person.
There is a prayer vigil, candlelight vigil this evening at 8 p.m. at Town Square, Sugarland. So please join there. And we will inform you of any other funeral services for other victims so that the community can join there. ISGH board yesterday has approved funds for the help of the victims and their families. And anybody who wants to participate in that, please reach out to Brother Dale Bush